Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast and pro wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video, we would really appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well. Another crazy weekend of football. So we're going to get into it. We're going to take a look back at all the Premier League action. Mark will be joining me later on. He's just a bit delayed at the moment. We'll go through that, take a look at the table. Interesting news coming out today about Mo Salah. Quick discussion, of course, about Stevie Cooper getting the bullet at Leicester. There's a little bit of ref watch there, but I'll leave that towards the end until Marky comes on. We'll do a quick scan down through preview for the Champions League as well, and a few other little bits and pieces that are in there as well. Into the chat, big up Philip, thanks for joining us. Sorry I was delayed, folks. My mic just decided to stop working, so I had to reboot StreamYard these days, folks, is just a pain in the backside. Everything seems to just error up or not work. If it's not slides, it's volume. If it's not volume, it's components. It's just a pain in the backside, and like they've doubled the price of it as well. Like, it's crazy. I think our time on StreamYard might be coming to an end. We might get something else to fill that void, if you like. But let's start anyway. As always, folks, you know, Hogan Elite Trophy here. Head over to Facebook and Instagram there. Drop a follow, do a like on the usual stuff and all. If you have any requirements for trophies at a special event or any event you were attending, be it personal or charity or whatever it is, get in touch with Marky there and he'll look after you. Hogan Elite Trophy, where he has all those famous trophies there, and they look fabulous, including the one that's over my shoulder, and there's a World Cup up there on the shelf as well. So if you do have any needs, hit up Marky there. He'll look after you. Let him know you're a subscriber to the upper tier and stuff like that, and he'll give you a good deal on them and stuff like that. Right, let's get into the Premier League and let's start. So we started off. Leicester 1, Chelsea 2. Jackson with the goal early, took it really well. Enzo with 1 on 75, making it 2, and Jordan Ayew with a penalty on the 90 plus 5th minute, consolation one really. But Chelsea still doing really well, still churning out those wins, as they say, and stuff like that and all, and doing a real good job this season. Something that we didn't expect straight away. We thought it might take Maresca a bit of time, but certainly doing a really good job there at the moment. Very impressive, I should say. Next up, Arsenal winning 3-0 against Nottingham Forest. This was an interesting one as well, because this was Nottingham Forest side. Awoni up front, who hasn't really hit anything like the heights he was hitting last season. Chris Wood on the bench, obviously was away on international duty in New Zealand, I think it is. So obviously took a lifetime to come back from that, I would imagine. So probably wasn't ready to start and stuff like that, which would have been a real hampering for Nuno, because Chris Wood has been outstanding this season. And if you're going to go to the Emirates and an Arsenal side who are looking to really bounce back into form and stuff like that, you really got to have all your top guns on the pitch, really, don't you? But an impressive win for Arsenal. Odegaard in there pulling the strings, doing an unbelievable job. Saka with the first one on 15, Partey on 52, the young boy Nwari on 86. He looks a real prospect at the moment. Just play him, Arteta, play him. Why are you holding the kid back? Play him. So a big win there for Arsenal, and well needed as well. And against a Forest side that are really flying at the moment as well. Next up, Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace 2. Sarr taking the lead for Palace on 4. Aston Villa bouncing back with Ollie Watkins on 36. Devaney coming up with the second one for Palace on the stroke of half time. And Ross Barkley on 77 getting the equaliser as well. Really important. Aston Villa on a little bit of a wobble at the moment in the league, aren't they? Kind of a little bit all over the place at the minute, coughing up results and stuff like that. Much better in Europe and stuff like that, doing really well in the Champions League, but really struggling at the moment in the league at the moment. And it's kind of maybe all the games are catching up or something like that. But we will keep an eye on Aston Villa 2-2 against Crystal Palace. Next up, Bournemouth versus Brighton. Brighton winning 2-1. The goals by Pedro and Matoma. Joe Pedro, fundamental to Brighton. What a player he is. The way he moves the ball around, the way he turns, sees the pass and creates the space. Very, very impressive. Brooks on 90+3 with the consolation for Bournemouth. But Brighton going down to 10 men. A red card for Baliba, who's been phenomenal for them. Myself and Darren spoke about him last week. Absolutely phenomenal. But getting a red card, and we'll talk about it in Ref Watch when Marky comes on, because it's not a... For me, I don't know. Is that a red? Is it a red? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. What did you guys think and stuff like that? Was it a red for Baliba against Bournemouth? I thought it was a tough one, really. You know, Everton and Brentford playing out a 0-0, but again, Nogard being sent off on 41. Another one we're going to talk about in Ref Watch. Went flying in, ball across the box, went flying in, caught Pickford high on the knee. Receiving a straight red. Let me know your thoughts on that as well, but we will talk about it in Ref Watch. Big up, Romy. How are you? Big week coming up. Big week coming up. Now Vinny Jr. right here as well. Vinny out injured. Going to miss the next 3 games or something like that, I read. Falling asunder, Romy. Falling asunder. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, kind of a drab kind of affair, really, wasn't it? A very, very difficult once a player is sent out and stuff like that. But Everton just not shown maybe enough desire to get across the line in that one, with Brentford going down to 10 men. Next up, we have Fulham versus Wolves. Fulham 1, Wolves 4. This will be one that will have disappointed Fulham, especially taking the lead on 20 minutes of Wobie with the goal there. Cunha, who's been phenomenal for Wolves as well, on 31 and 87, scored a brace. Gomez on 53 and Guedes on 90+5. 4-1 win for Wolves away at Craven Cottage. That's a massive result for Gary O'Neill. And for all those people out there who are questioning Gary O'Neill and how he should be gone and stuff like that, Gary O'Neill is a very, very good coach. And given the opportunity and given the support and given the players and given everything else, can do really, really good things. Romy's in. No, Vinny, sadly, but it's good. We can unleash Mbappe at left wing. Bradley will be taking him on. So I'm really interested. I was saying it today on Twitter. I'm really looking forward to see Connor Bradley. I know in the game yesterday against Southampton, he kind of struggled a little bit in that game. And hence people were starting to question, you know, Connor Bradley as a replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold if he leaves and stuff like that. No. But I'm looking forward to see how he handles Mbappe. It should be interesting. But really looking forward to it. What a week for us. You know, Real Madrid on Wednesday and Man City at the weekend. It's going to be phenomenal. Gary O'Neill is good, I can't lie, has transformed Wolves. Absolutely. And look, they had a real tough start, but they had a real tough run of fixtures as well. And people forget that as well. They didn't start off like, you know, playing bottom of the league teams and stuff like that and all. So, and it takes time as well to settle in when you know, players have moved on and stuff like that and all. And I really like Gary O'Neill as a coach. I think he's really good. Big up, bro. How are you? I know I've started a new series on my channel where I'm interviewing misfit fighters. I interviewed OJ Rose yesterday. Fair play. Oh, fair play, Joe. I like that. Good stuff. Keep it going. Don't forget, Jack, if you want, you can share in. If you want to share in any links or anything like that or whatever you want. No hassle at all. Bradley will get rinsed like Tyrone Turf. You think? Mbappe really hasn't been hitting the straps, has he now? What did I read? Did I read that as well? Gio Bellingham scored yesterday, was it? And was that his first goal or his second goal this season? In what, 12 games or whatever it is? Not exactly setting the world alight. France will make a new baguette in France called the Bradley Supreme after Mbappe is done with him. I don't think so. I do not think so at all. It wouldn't be just tomfoolery that Trent's available, isn't it? El Arna playing games, stuff like that. I don't expect them to be available, but I'm looking forward. This is a good test for Bradley now. This is a good test to see if Trent did move on. Is Bradley the guy who could step up into the breach and no higher competition than Real Madrid in the Champions League and certainly Kylian Mbappe? So let's see. Should be good. Looking forward to it. Right, next up, what did we have? Next up, we had The horror show, Man City 0, Tottenham 4. Maddison with a brace, Poirot on 52, and Brennan Johnson on 90 plus 3 just to put the nail in the coffin. What did we think of this? What's going on at Man City, folks? Let me know your thoughts. Where is it all going wrong at the moment? That's 5 losses on the bounce. Fionair coming up during the week, and then us at the weekend. This could get real tasty. A lot of Man City fans at the moment really down in the dumps at the minute and stuff like that. Not used to this. And it's hard to really put the finger on it because there's a lot of quality still there. But I did mention during the season as well, going back 3, 4, 5 games ago, that they were heavily leaning on Vardy and on Kovacic to get through games and stuff like that and get them over the line. Haaland has kind of dropped off. Foden is having a nightmare. He's nowhere near hit the straps of last season. Bernardo Silva's looked like he's Asian of the year. Gundogan looks like he's really struggling. Just a lot of stuff there. Kyle Walker. The defense is being exposed more. And it kind of reminds me, when you look back at the summer there and you think about the money they got for Alvarez and whether they should have sold Alvarez or not, even for that money. And then you look at the other stuff that's going on there, and obviously Pep's contract now got sorted out. The charges in the background, the injuries that they've had as well. Lost Stones then at the weekend as well. He had to go off and stuff like that. Looks like it's injury and stuff like that. And we all talk about injuries. We all talk about squad and stuff like that. But these are big players. Kevin De Bruyne, then you look at the wingers there. Doku not really performing, not creating. Grealish barely in the side. On the other side, Bernardo Silva kind of struggling as well. And it's just been a real struggle for them this season. And I get the feeling if they were to lose on Sunday, and that gap became 11 points to Liverpool, I think they might just turn their attention to the Champions League. And quite frankly, at the weekend, Spurs are missing a bunch of players as well. So hats off to Spurs with that win. But I just think, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like there's something right there at Man City at the moment. It reminds me somewhat of the season. Remember the season where Vincent Kompany left and they didn't replace him? And they decided to use Fernandinho. They took him out of midfield and put him into defence. And it just kind of fell apart a little bit for them, didn't it? And this feels more like it as well. What are we saying here? Trent will be in his boots into Anfield and showing it. Here, listen, I wouldn't be surprised. Man City slipping on the oil. Pepper's booking EasyJet as we speak. Oh, more drama at Man City than EastEnders. Yeah, there is. There really is. And you can the fan base are losing it, aren't they? Like they're just like 5 L's on the trot. They just don't know where to look. Like I follow Big Steve quite a bit as well. He does be on TikTok and on YouTube and stuff like that. And it's hungry. It's hurting. It's injury prone. You know what I mean? They need to fix up quick. But what a game by Spurs. Spurs were absolutely outstanding. Just tore them apart at every opportunity, Then we got into yesterday and we talked Liverpool, Southampton. Szoboszlai on 30, Armstrong on 42, Fernandez on 56, and then of course the Egyptian King rolls up Mo Salah 65 and 83 with the penalty. Lots of interesting decisions in this game. Again, we'll talk to Marky about them when he comes on. If he makes it. The Robbo penalty, I don't know. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? A lot of people talking about the handball for the penalty and stuff like that and all. Segura. I don't know. For me, it rolls right down his arm to his wrist, And then a lot of people talking about how, Liv VAR pool. But not much talk about the tackle Adam Lallana did on Gravenberch and stuff like that, which for me warranted a red. But yeah, that's the way it is. What fan base? Yeah, absolutely. There you go. But all in all, I think it was I think on the balance of play, I think where we weren't unbelievable, I think at times we just had those moments to release key players. And again, Mo Salah just coming up trumps us. That ball from Gravenberch onto his toe, and to be able to see the keeper in no man's land and just flick the ball by him was absolutely unbelievable. And a huge win for Liverpool. And, we'll talk about Mo later on. It's just, I can't believe they haven't tied him down yet and stuff like that. And I know there's an issue there in relation to the age. And I think the major issue at the moment, I think the money is sorted out in terms of the renewal. I think the issue I read today or I heard today was really the length of the contract, how many years and stuff like that. And that's what they're wrangling over at the moment. I know Mo came out and he says that there hasn't been an offer yet, but that would be the norm, that there hasn't been an offer, because both sides are negotiating. And until you come to some common ground, then you make an offer, because there's no point in playing tennis with offers going back and forward. So they'll negotiate with the agent and with Mo, and then, it's I think the fan base today, listening to Mo's interview after the game and stuff, we're thinking that the club has absolutely ignored him, and that's not the case. I also heard as well that FSG are supposed to be making the trip over this week for the Real Madrid game and the Man City game, and apparently they're in town to do business. So do not be surprised if you get some announcements this week with contract renewals and stuff like that. We just need to get it done, because I've said it all along at the moment. Our football at the moment is really, really good in terms of getting results and where we are in our position, stuff like that. We've put ourselves in a fantastic position this season to be successful. And the only thing that's going to undo that is a lot of the stinkiness going around on these contracts and stuff like that and all. And plus spending a few bob in January and strengthening even further. So let's see what happens. Phillips in, what's up? Loads of shit going on behind the scenes at City. It's like rats deserting a sinking ship. Yeah, absolutely. Moments like that for Liverpool win leagues. Yeah, they do. They really, really do. And I think even Dominic was, Szoboszlai was interviewed after the game, and he was asked about it, and he goes, yeah, these are the games. These are the games that you look back on and go, that's where things happened and stuff like that, Big up, Ryan. Good to see you, man. How you feeling about Gary O'Neill? Big win at the weekend. Cracking win. 4-1 against Fulham. Not many teams go to Craven Cottage, Ryan, and put 4 past Fulham and beat them 4-1. Really, 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 really impressive. I'm interviewing Minicon next. If you know who he is, he fought Chase Demore not so long ago. I haven't followed Misfits much, to be honest, Jack, but I'll tell you, I'll look into it. Or if you have any clips, just send them on to me and stuff like that, or links. Watching Give First Time on Thursday. There you go. Big up, Eno. Good seeing my friend. Ryan, yeah, what a weekend. Matthias Cunha is magic. He is magic. He absolutely is magic. And a big part. And remember, these are, when you have lost players and stuff like that, these are the players that really need to step up. And I think, and you can see there, you can see, Ryan, like you played really, really well at the weekend. If the Michael Jackson statue's still in the warehouse at Craven Cottage. Oh, God. I have no idea. And he finally played Andre and pushed Gomez further forward. Yeah, and Ryan, you were calling that well over a month ago. Well, even prior to the international break and stuff. So yeah, absolutely spot on. I'll send you the interview in DMs, Noel, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take a look at that, Jack. That'd be cool. Interested in that Misfit stuff and all. Next up, then we had Ipswich 1, Man United 1. Man United in the first few minutes were absolutely scintillating. That first 3 or 4 minutes, that goal that they scored, the Rashford goal, was everything to like in a team goal. 7 passes, back of the net. Job done. And I'm sure Man United fans were getting gassed at that stage, because they were gassed up all week at how happy they were with Amaran in terms of interviews and approach, conversations and comments and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, it kind of just seemed to fizzle away, didn't it? A lot of lads just then didn't show up, and they weren't playing, and they looked like they were sapped of energy. They weren't putting in the work rate that was required, and that must have been really frustrating for Ruben Amorim, who's come from a situation where work rate is key in his system. Work rate is massive, and if people don't show up and bring work rate, forget about it. The system doesn't work. And Ipswich could have easily beat Man United yesterday. It could have been Onana was probably man of the match. So that tells you everything you need to know. Some point blank saves, some really good takes and stuff like that and all. But listen, it's not to throw shade around like that. It's going to take time for Ruben Amorim to figure things out. You can see clearly there at least maybe 4 or 5 players there that won't be in his system in a long-term situation, and he'll need to bring players in. Amorim is cooking something. I think Amorim will get the best out of Bruno, Dalot and Mainu. He definitely will. Absolutely. The one thing I highlighted yesterday, and I was talking to Darren, you all know Darren from Thursday. I said to Darren yesterday, if you're going in with that pivot there in midfield of Ericsson and Casemiro, that's going to create problems because the likes of Omari Hutchinson and players like that, they'll just eat that up, and that's what they did basically. So it's fairly obvious where the changes need to be made. Again, you know, it's questions over Marcus Rashford and stuff like that and all. And, you know, some people will say they're done with him. We heard some interviews after the game, fans outside and all gone, you know, it's just the same old thing again. But look, you're not going to change much in 2 or 3 sessions and, you know, 3 or 4 days in the door and stuff like that and all, you know what I mean? You got to stick with it. And we know we don't want to use that word process and stuff like that and all, but it's really, really important. This has to go right. This is do or die time for Man United. You know what I mean? There's been so many changes, and this one needs to work. But we shall see. And then we come to tonight, and at the moment it's 2-0 to West Ham. Good Lord. 2-0 to West Ham up at St. James's at the moment. 68 minutes gone. Absolutely madness. Who would have thought that? Souček on 10 and Wan-Bissaka on 53. Newcastle under Eddie Howe. Kind of a little bit stop-start this season, and it's a little bit out there. And I think I spoke to Darren about it last week, and we were talking about, like, when you still have guys like Jacob Murphy there and Amaran and stuff like that, you know, you're still really going to struggle. You still have parts that are missing, not to mention some of the injuries as well, especially in the back line, trying to get a stable back line. The fullbacks are fantastic when you look at Livramento and the boy Lewis Hall is Lewis Hall as well. Yeah, really, really important. But I think it's the central defenders that are causing a little bit of a problem there and stuff like that. And midfield is pretty decent and stuff like that. And then up front, Isaac is up there, Gordon is up there. So they've all the makings of it and stuff like that. But interesting that result there. That won't go down too well with the Geordies. Put Isaac in my fancy. Not happy now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And listen, you've good reason to put him in, but whilst having Cunha and Salah in the team. Yeah, Salah. You were unlucky yesterday as well. He hit the bar. He should have had a hat-trick. Or hit the post, I should say. Should have had a hat-trick. But that's it. That's your latest there at the moment. We'll keep you updated on the Newcastle game anyway. So what that all means is this is what your table looks like. And basically Chelsea and Arsenal have closed ground on Man City. Fairly tight there. But Liverpool are on top, 8 points ahead at the moment. Could potentially stretch it to 11 on City. But if Chelsea and Arsenal pick up wins, they'll go to 25. And the gap will remain the same to them, 9 points. So interesting to see what way that goes. Keats in, I think Man United, even do, they are a big club. They are starting to really lose their luster for big players to join them. Big players will see City and Liverpool as more attractive destination. I don't know. There's definitely an attraction to Man United. You know what I mean? The history and stuff like that and all. I get what you're saying. It's been a long time and stuff like that and all. But it's just, I think United still have the power to attract their big players and stuff like that. I mean, they brought Ugarte in and stuff like that. That's not to be sniffed at. And I think, you know, they brought in the lit. They will bring in players and they'll strengthen even further. But you can see clear telltale signs of yesterday. You can see Xerxes he's not the answer in there. You need like that guy. I look at that guy even turn and move, and he's so lethargic. It's unreal. And again, you see Bruno putting in the work that he puts in. He's everywhere on the pitch and bringing that energy. And then it's like as if it just slows down. Then you play a ball into Xerxes and it's like takes an age to turn and decide what he wants to do and all that kind of thing. But I think they're still very attractive in terms of players and stuff like that. And let's not get it twisted. You know, history and also in the financials, they're still up there as one of the biggest clubs in the world. So let's not get that twisted. And Amaran as well going in there as well. There will be a certain attraction to him as well because there's a certain attraction to his style of play. Players should really enjoy that style of play. That real energy, high press, attacking style of play and stuff, you know what I mean? No Rodri, no Party, eat that Vinny Jr. There you go. Newcastle might have a penalty. I haven't seen that. I haven't been tracking it there. I'm just going to check it out now. They're checking for it already. I don't see anything there. Let me pull up the commentary and see if there's anything in the commentary for it. Maybe I'm wrong. Nothing on mine yet anyway, Ryan, but keep me posted anyway in the chat, folks, if that happens. I have it here in front of you and just keeping an eye on it there. So yeah, that's your league table at the moment. So interesting look to it as well. I have to say. So look at who's hiding down the bottom here. As if by magic. How are we?
What's the story, Cuz? How are you?
Not too bad at all. I just finished off the Premier League review.
Oh, good
Um,
stuff.
get your thoughts on give us your thoughts on obviously City and Spurs and obviously United and Ipswich. They would be get your idea.
Yeah, great performance, obviously by Spurs. I don't think anyone would see that result coming, even with how bad City have been playing. I don't think
Mm.
anyone would have thought 4-0. Obviously Rodri out of the team is a massive hole, but you think the quality that City have, that they'd be still able to, to get a result, not even a win, but even a draw against Spurs at home, and what's that, 5 on the bounce now they've lost, and
Yeah. Mm.
and I know we talk about, like I said, about Rodri and all, but City are a massive club. They should be able to have enough cover and enough quality to be able to fill the fill the gap in while he's not there.
Yeah, I think there's been a massive drop off in the quality. Like if you look at Foden this year compared to last year, he's had a massive drop off. He was phenomenal last year.
Yeah,
Obviously, they had Alvarez there at the time as well. So when Haaland wasn't performing or he was out, Alvarez kind of filled that void and
yeah,
stuff like that. You have Grealish has gone in. He's over 100 million and like he's flattered to deceive. He's kind of come in and out of the team. Hasn't really held down a spot. I'm not sure whether Pep is sold on it. Doku has come in. He's not quite being what they thought he would be. Bernardo Silva on the other side is kind of aging out a little bit and had made sounds over the last 2 seasons of leaving. And then you have Gundogan coming in as well, and he looks like that year away in Barcelona feels like about 10 years by the looks
10
of things.
years. Yeah, no, it
Really
does.
struggling. And I think
And
we
like,
spoke about it, didn't we? We spoke about it about 2-3 weeks ago. That reliance there on Kovacic and Josko Vardiol and
yeah.
stuff like that and all would eventually catch up with you,
And like Haaland's form has been terrible. Like I captained Salah there over the weekend. I've been persistent with Haaland, thinking he might come up with the goods, but it's just been so poor from him. And you look at it as well. You look at the likes of Doku and like you were saying about Foden and stuff. Like we know Pep, he likes to chop and change a good bit, particularly out wide with his wide players and stuff like that. So it is hard if you're a Foden and you're getting to run the team and then you're benched. You're kind of like pissed off. Hey, how are you, Big Phil? What's the story, man? Phil is still celebrating Shell's league win.
It's okay.
But
And
yeah,
Duffer picked up the award. Was it last night or Saturday night? The
2 nights
manager of
ago,
the year.
yeah,
2
yeah,
nights
yeah. I
ago.
think it was Saturday
Yeah,
night in his maroon suit and stuff like
he
that.
was
So
funny.
yeah,
The speech was funny. The
yeah,
speech
yeah,
was funny.
he's a great
Yeah,
character. So
yeah. In case.
but yeah, it was a strange result. It was just, and what Spurs will probably go out and get beaten next week whoever they're playing after beating City 4-0, like.
Romy still can't get over Rodri getting the Ballon d'Or. Still hurts. Vicario's broke his ankle, hasn't he? I didn't get the update on it, Ryan. Is that the case? Yeah, Forrester's not the answer there. And then if Vicario, in fairness, is like he was good the other night, but still, I mean, he's had his moments as well. Keane said it about Haaland. He's a League Two player in every respect except goal scoring. When he isn't doing that, he's not good enough for a top team. Who knows? United still attract players, as the old saying years ago. Players want to sign for Man United or sign for London clubs for the lifestyle, but players also want to go to Liverpool and City as well. Yeah, Key was making the point earlier whether Man United is losing its luster in terms of attracting in names and stuff like that. And I said that'll always be
Yeah,
there.
oh
That'll
yeah,
always be
100%. Yeah, no, I
there.
can't see it. Like, I wouldn't
Spurs
agree with
play
you there,
Fulham
Keith.
next. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Wanted to get your thoughts on. We need to talk about Stevie Cooper sacked.
Yeah,
What was your thoughts on this? I seen there was Forest fans phoning into Talksport this morning and last night, going absolutely ballistic that this had happened. That they think he's a really really good coach and manager, and that Leicester kind of took the piss out of him. That it was kind of a reaction to Maresca leaving, wasn't really thought out very well. Leicester fans really didn't accept him, all this kind of thing. And
Mm.
what's your thoughts on it? I mean, okay, I mean, we spoke about Leicester saying how their home form would be absolutely critical, and in those cases, they've kind of fallen down a little bit. Like, he's not bottom of the league detached or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is. I would say it's a strange one, but obviously it's a results-based business, and the results haven't been coming. But when you look at the overall, like, I thought you had them playing really good, some really good football at times and all. And don't forget, it's difficult. You know, you've an agent Jamie Vardy up front, and they've had a few injuries and stuff like that. And listen, they played against the likes of Villa and Arsenal, and you know they played some really tough teams. Like that Villa game in the King Power, Villa were just on fire. Like they were just unplayable. And you know, so I feel a bit sorry for him. And then I obviously heard about the board or the owner going in and speaking to the players beforehand and all, which I think is an
Not good.
absolute joke. Like, you know, it's
Not good. And they've
it's
sold some good players as well. Dewsbury Hall left and went to Chelsea, and
yeah.
Harvey Barnes went up to Newcastle, and you know they've lost big players. Like,
They
you know,
have, and like I said, and I think in that respect, I think he's done well with some of the players he has there. He's brought on the likes of McAteer and stuff like that. Young McAteer, that's an Irish international and all. And
yeah,
you look at, obviously, like I said about Vardy, he'll give 110%. He hasn't got that extra yard of pace that he used to have, but he plays kind of off the shoulder of the defender still, like he used to. But yeah, it's a tough one, and obviously seeing some of the names linked. Obviously, apparently Potter is going to be announced in the next 24 hours. Van Nistelrooy has been linked. David Moyes has been linked as well. So, yeah, I feel sorry for Cooper, but you know, it's football, it's results, and like you said, because they're not rock bottom of the table, you know, on whatever amount of points and minus goal difference in a big way. So yeah,
yeah. Cooper kind of reminds me. He's kind of like we're fans of Stevie Cooper. We like Stevie, but now the thing about it is he kind of feels like he's an acquired taste. He's a bit like Guinness, isn't he? Because he kind of generally looks disinterested,
yeah, he
doesn't he?
always
He
looks,
doesn't,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
looks the same. Like, you know, he always looks that way. Like he's just not interested. He kind of, his facials tend to be the same whether they score or concede.
he
It's
just doesn't
hard
look
to
happy.
judge the guy. You know
Yeah,
what
he
I mean?
doesn't
Like,
look happy
you'd be
at
going
all.
into training now, and you nearly have to have a 5 minute chat with him to figure out whether he's having a good day or a bad day.
But
And
no,
it's a weird one and stuff like that. No, but it was definitely a reaction. Obviously, losing Maresca obviously was huge as well. And I just think it's I don't know, it's a tough one. It does feel like it was a tough one. It is like, it is early. They're not in the relegation zone. They are above it. You know what I mean? And it's just, they
no, it
have
is,
had a
and
tough time.
you look at it, you know, if you're a Leicester fan, you probably want Potter in there more than say David Moyes. Obviously Van Nistelrooy had the game or two. For ourselves, you know, we had the one game obviously in Europe and
Now
stuff like
here's
that.
hang on. Here's a question for you. If you're hiring the manager, are you going for Potter over David Moyes?
Well, listen, you know what you get with David Moyes. You know, you have that
Mm,
stability there, and he has much more experience than Potter would have, and especially in the position that Leicester are in at the minute.
mm.
It depends what the owner's thinking. Is he thinking we want a younger, you know? And don't forget, David Moyes has a European trophy on the CV as well. You know, so you
Yeah,
have to look at it in that
yeah.
sense. But you know, from an owner's point of view, he's probably thinking the long term, and you know, get a younger manager in there, the likes of Potter. But don't forget, Potter's been out of the game a long time now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and like he hasn't, like, you know, he hasn't been like on the verge of doors of jobs and stuff like that
Mm.
either. You know what I mean? He's, any jobs that have kind of come up, he's kind of been fourth or fifth in the queue, I think, when we've looked at it and stuff like that and all. So I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting. Be certainly interesting to see Graham Potter back in management as well. That would be interesting.
Do you think he was
Um,
just holding out and thinking he'd have his name like nailed on for the England job?
do you know what it is? I think he was just enjoying the wedge he was getting paid out from Chelsea, maybe.
Chelsea, yeah. Wouldn't
Or
we
maybe
all
it was
be?
that.
Wouldn't we all be?
Yeah, because I suppose if you take a job, the wedge stops, doesn't it? Because they pay it over time.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't just give you a lump sum, so they pay it over time. So as long as if you go into work, I wonder, do you still, does that then
And
cut off because you're back in work or something? I don't
now in
know.
Chelsea, it's probably over 7 years, is it?
If it is, then he's very happy. That's one of those moments when you do want a 10-year contract, isn't
Too right.
it?
Too right.
Absolutely. But yeah, very interesting. Graham Potter in the chamber of King Power Stadium.
Like
Yeah,
that one, Robbie.
absolutely. Potter was found by Leicester in Vietnam, still drowning his sorrows over the Chelsea job.
Think of worse places to be
Absolutely.
doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Right, let's take a quick look. Champions League coming up this week. Some interesting toys. And grab you there and kick out. Obviously, Liverpool
Yeah.
Real is massive.
And then obviously Munich PSG should be a really good game as well.
Villa Juventus. Villa Juventus is a good one as well.
I'm just going down.
Sporting Arsenal.
Yeah, that'd be a
That'll
decent
be a good
game.
one.
Who Celtic playing Club Brugge, yeah.
Munich PSG. Some big
yeah,
games
no,
this
yeah,
week.
just said that. Yeah, no, there's some really good, tasty games, and I don't know what I was just, I'm so relieved to come into the Premier League weekend this weekend, knowing there's no more international breaks for another 4 months, like, you know.
Tell you, man, it's just.
And I think I read is it between now and Christmas Eve, there's only 3 days where there's not football, whether it be Premier League, you know, League Cup, Champions League, and Europa, and all. So,
which is fabulous.
Unbelievable.
Spoiled we are. Spoiled, as they say now.
Big time.
Right, so where are we? Barcelona getting a goal on the breast.
I heard it's a bit nippy up there.
I heard people talking about there was a bit of a debate today. We'll talk about Mo Salah in a minute. But there was a bit of a debate today about whether you should be renewing a contract for a player at 32 or 33, you know. And I was thinking today, the leading goal scorer in La Liga is 36, Robert Lewandowski. He's 15 goals this season in La Liga. He has nearly twice as many as the two next to him. And he's 36 years of age.
Well, obviously you're going to go on to it, but I think if you're renewing a contract, it doesn't matter what age you are. Yeah. If it's Mo Salah, you renew that thing. You offer him whatever you can, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the moment, from what I read, I was saying earlier in the show, from what I've read, the money is already sorted. It's the number of years, the length of the contract they're debating at the moment. So even though he said there's been no contact, there's been plenty of contact.
Okay,
yeah. Just he what he's saying is there hasn't been an actual offer, but I'm sure they're both trying to find. You don't make an offer until you have an offer that's going to be accepted. You're not.
Yeah.
You don't need to dick around and disrespect Mo Salah, and neither Liverpool doesn't need to be at that game. They know the score.
By the way, just see him when he took his jersey off the other day. Holy shit, he's in some nick, isn't he?
He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's just unbelievable. That lad just must train. I've seen him doing yoga. He's in these cold baths. He's doing everything, and he must eat so clean. I even seen him actually. They have a coffee bar now in the training area, the training center, where they all meet up for coffee, the players, and just have a chat and a bit of crack and stuff like that. I'd say he just eats black coffee, bulletproof black coffee, I'd say, with a bit of butter in it or coconut oil or something.
He's in some nick. Like I said to you before, I was down with the Leinster lads fitting them out a few weeks ago, and your man is a Jameson Park or James. Yeah, you want to see him, and he took off his top, and Jesus Christ, man, abs upon abs upon abs. Yeah. All them lads are like that. Even Toy stand there in his jocks, and he's just you want to see it, but
a lot of them are getting the suction treatment, aren't they? So you have fat lads even who have abs on top of the fat, so they have the rounded belly, but there's abs on it and stuff.
Toy walks in, you're looking at him thinking he's a bleeding farmer, like, you know, and then he takes off his top and you're like, holy shit. Even Robin McBride, former Wales international, he's 50 odd. You want to see he's in some nick.
Yeah, just let them know. 86 into the 87 minute here, folks. Still 2-0 to West Ham. Souček on 10 and Aaron Wan-Bissaka on 53. 2-0. Who would have thought it up there at St. James's?
Madness, isn't it?
Makes me feel a little bit better. We're away to them shortly as well. So
handy 3 points.
Yeah, he's lean like an iron board, isn't he? He's actually one of those lads when he whips the jersey off and throws it, you feel bad probably booking him over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was actually a bit pissed off with him yesterday. I seen he scored the penalty and then he got booked, and obviously, like I said, I had him as my captain, like, so.
Yeah, so it cancels out a little bit. Yeah, it cancels out a little bit. What have you made of the table so far? I mean, did you see any? I know it's hard for you to see.
How far do you want to go down?
Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, Arsenal obviously are outside of the automatic qualifiers, and so are Man City. Would you expect both of them to get in there into that top 8, or? Do you
Yeah,
reckon it's going
yeah,
to be
you'd
tough?
expect you would expect them, but you look around and there's other big names. Like you look at Bayern
Mm,
Munich, you look at Real Madrid are there, and then obviously you've City. Yeah, it's Juventus. Sorry, Juventus just in between City and Arsenal. So there's
yeah.
other big teams there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around the new format, and I don't know whether I'm a fan of it yet or not. You know, that sort of way.
I don't think we'll be a fan of it until the qualifiers begin. I
Yeah.
think this is like the Champions League.
It's like the group stages. It's the knockout stage, I
No
guess. Yeah,
one's really a fan of the group stage until it gets to that round of 13 or 16 or whatever it is. Then it actually becomes the competition. Then doesn't it really?
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but I think there could be a few surprises up there. Monaco doing well. Sporting, that's a massive game. Sporting versus Arsenal.
Yeah,
Sporting beat Arsenal now. That would
and
put a lot of pressure
AC
on.
Milan have been doing well as well. You look at them
Yeah.
and stuff like
Mm,
that.
yeah.
Benfica are there, very hard to go to Portugal and pick up points against
Yeah.
them and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's an interesting table, but
Fiorenord
um,
as well playing City as well. Fiorenord
yeah,
playing City. That's an
and
interesting.
from obviously a point of view of I'd like to see Villa keep up the pace in the Champions League as well. I wouldn't like to see them drop off. I think Emery has them playing some good football, and it's just you've seen against Palace. The Palace had a depleted team there the other day, and really had them on the back foot. It's just for Emery, it's just trying to find a balance
Mm.
between the Champions League and the Premier League. But I'd like to see them there in the knockout stages of the Champions League.
Yeah, Celtic doing well as well. Celtic doing well. Bounce back after that drubbing that Dortmund
Against
gave them.
Dortmund,
Since
yeah,
then, they've
yeah,
been really good. So
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting format as well because it's kind of like it's a one shot deal, so you don't get the opportunity of the return leg.
yeah,
So you're playing someone different every match day.
exactly, yeah,
So you don't get that chance to revenge that kind of poor decision or something that happens. You have to move on. But it's interesting from it must be quite testing from a coaching point of view as well. Because obviously if you play the team already and you're going to play them then at home or away, you
yeah,
kind of have an idea what you're dealing with. Whereas every week in this, when it rolls around, it's a new set of parameters to deal
yeah,
with and coach and set up for and all and stuff like that.
exactly.
But yeah, it should be interesting. Question for you: Liverpool, Real Madrid on Wednesday, right? If you're earning a slot at the moment, we're pretty much there or thereabouts, top of the table at the moment here, right? In the Champions League. I think 15 points will more or less get you through into the top 8, right?
Yeah.
What do you do on Wednesday? Do you keep the momentum going or do you prioritize the Man City game?
I'd say, listen, if you're playing against some of the best teams in Europe, you have to put your best team out and see how you compete against them. And I think he has to take that momentum in. Like if you went over there with say the same starting 11 that you're going to play City against and you get a win, that's a massive confidence boost for you,
About
particularly
the
with.
home. About the home. About an Anfield.
Oh, is that the no? I
About
knew
an
some.
Anfield.
Yeah. I knew
Yeah,
somebody
about
was.
an
I thought
Anfield.
you were away to Real Madrid.
Mm.
So that would be massive confidence booster, particularly the way City have been playing lately as well.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking of is if you look at that top 8 that qualify there on the table in front of you, it doesn't matter whether you're first or 8. Those 8 go straight into a pot. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether you're first or 8, doesn't really matter. It's really just a visualization and stuff like that, really. You know what I mean? So what is the bigger game? Obviously, Liverpool, Real Madrid is always a huge game, but in the greater aspect of your
I
season or
know. Yeah,
where we're at the
exactly.
moment.
Particularly the
Yeah,
way results have gone lately as well, and you're thinking, if you can
yeah.
notch up another 3 points, to I think who have you got after that? I think
We
you.
we've got two. We've got Real Madrid on Wednesday at home. Then we've got Man City at home at Anfield. Then I think we're away to Newcastle,
Newcastle, that's
and then we're away to Everton.
So yeah,
And
some
that away to Everton, remember, will be the last
in
Merseyside
Goodison,
derby at
yeah,
Goodison. So they'll
that'd be
be
something
they'll
else.
be they'll
That'd
be
be an
pretty good.
emotional game as
Yeah,
well, emotional day for both sides of the city
yeah.
as well.
We're 18, so you Edwards wouldn't be interested in us. Only
Oh,
one game
Lordy.
Royal Champions League is letting you off easily. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. Only one game. Yeah.
Some boyo.
I tell you. Yeah, no, I just thought it was an interesting conversation because obviously when you're trying to, You know what I mean? We have a few injuries out as well, obviously as well. Some of them starting to come back, but obviously the City game at the weekend is massive. But
Massive,
then I
yeah.
suppose if you look at the Madrid game, if we could beat Madrid on Wednesday at Anfield, they stay on 6 points. You
Yeah.
know, they might really struggle then to get out of that. They might have to play those extra 2 qualifiers to
Yeah.
get through, you know, which would be interesting to see how it
What
goes.
time's kick-off? 4 or half 4 on Sunday?
I presume it's half 4.
Half
I
4, is
presume
it?
it's half 4. I haven't looked that far ahead. There's so much I've looked a little bit, let's say, but I haven't looked much, just a little bit.
Hey.
What did you
Oh,
make? Mo Salah. Talk to me about Mo Salah. 100 away goals. 100 away goals.
I seen you seen the picture of it on I think it was Facebook or something the other day. Yeah, it's some achievement, but what a player! Like, and it's all type of goals as well. He's just obviously, like you spoke about before, last season after the African nations, he had a little bit of a lull, but he's just class. You know, you look at him, even from a United fan, I look at him thinking I'd love to have him in my team, and um, you know, like I said, he's I know he's captained the team a few times. He's a different type of captain as well. He's not probably as vocal as probably the likes of Van Dijk and all would be on the pitch, but he's just utter class, you know. And he considering obviously the start he had at Chelsea that time, it didn't really work out for him, and he went over to Italy and stuff like that, and yeah, just I admire him, and you know, he's still, like you just said, you know, the age of him and the condition he's in. You know, I'd definitely be signing him for many years to come, and he could he brings the younger lads on as well around him. You know, and
Yeah,
even
he
that
definitely he
time.
definitely raises people's games
Oh,
around him and stuff like
100%.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
and I know, listen, there was a time where himself and Mane, there was both of them are being selfish and this, that, and the other, and but it's like he's a much better player than Mane in my opinion, and he's lasted there. How many years is he with us now?
7 or 8, isn't it, at this stage?
He's there a
I
good few
think.
years. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, and you know, if you're a young lad and you're at Liverpool and you're going in training every day with Mo Salah, you know, that's priceless.
He's responsible for 67% of all goal involvements this season.
Jeez, it's unreal, isn't it?
So
That's
he's
what.
basically 2/3 of our goals and assists.
Is it the new haircut or what's the story?
I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? I think what they've been doing is they've been playing him a little bit narrower.
Yeah,
So because he's come in off the line, where if you remember last season, he was so wide. So every
yeah,
time he picked up the ball, he had so much to do. I think this season he's played him in narrow. Things have come tighter, and he seems to have less to do to get into position where
is it?
he's in
Yeah,
that position. Like you look at that goal yesterday, and like hats off to Gravenberch as well. But you look at that pass from Gravenberch to him, and he just tows it past McCarthy in no man's land.
yeah,
And it's just to see that and to visually see it. And not only that, even when he towed it, he was following it in to make sure that desire is
yeah,
still
yeah.
there to work hard and
And it's
stuff like that.
mad. I was texting Keno on Friday. Keno does dip in and out of chat sometimes, and he was saying, "What do you think?" And I said 3 points and a Salah hat trick. And when he got the second goal, he just he was like hat trick incoming, you know. But obviously it didn't happen, like, you know. But like I said, he's just class. Obviously, listen, he's given me some dark days as a Manchester United fan, you know, particularly that 7-0 game and stuff like that. You know, he's electric. So, but yeah, listen, I love that a player like that is in the Premier League, and we're getting to watch him week in, week out, you know.
Yeah. Fran Garcia is my man for Salah. Yeah, I tell you. Absolutely. Right, let's take a little bit of ref watch. Wanted to get your
Yeah.
thoughts on some of these. Some of them are related mainly to our own game yesterday.
There was
But
plenty
there's
in
a
your
few
game
others.
yesterday, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
Start off with the Robbo, the panel.
Yeah, like from the first image I seen, which is probably the top image out of the two of them there. How's it going, man? I thought it was outside the box, but when you actually see the point of contact and where it is on his leg, it's right on the line, which is actually counts for inside the box. So I can see why it was given. It's just the first still I seen of it. it did look like Robbo had caught him just outside of it, but it's the point of contact. He's sliding in at that stage to actually make the tackle, so that's why it looks like he has already made the tackle, but he hasn't made
When you
contact with him.
when you look at it from the opposite side, see the angle we have there. If you look at it as if you're looking towards Robbo,
Yeah,
when you look at his foot is planted, and there's grass between his foot and the line.
yeah. The bottom one here, isn't it?
Now, if you look, see the top one, see the
Yeah.
top one
Oh,
where
the very top. Yeah, yeah.
if you go to the opposite side of that, they showed an angle, and when Robbo plants his foot, when you look down at Robbo's foot, you
It
can see
does.
grass between his foot and the line.
Right, yeah. Now the one I just seen, it was about
Yeah.
like Robbo was on the line and he'd made contact, and it wasn't even. I don't think your man's foot was that. By the way,
Yeah.
it looks like he's wearing no shin guards there. Did you see him yesterday?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Serious player. By the way, it's just finished at St. James's 2-0 to West Ham.
That's something else. Isn't it?
Geordies will not be happy with that at all. That's a huge result for West Ham and Lopetegui.
But yeah, like I said, I could see the contact was on the line, and obviously, if it's on the line, it's counted as inside the penalty area. So I could see, and listen, it was a good shout by the referee to see it. Obviously, it went to VAR, and they agreed with him.
Of course they did. It was Michael Oliver. Cute buddy. I don't think there's any about the penalty, the handball. I don't think there's.
Yeah, no, his arm goes towards the ball. Obviously, he hit his chest, but because his arm has gone, it's hit here and it's gone towards it. If he had his arm, if it had hit him here and his arm is just not moving, it's still and it hits it, the referee has a decision to make.
It's kind of motioned the bottom half of his arm towards the ball as well. They need to make the contact. Like the ball nearly went along his whole arm to his wrist nearly.
That's like, as a referee, if you're looking at, if it hits any other part of your body but your arm isn't moving, it's like in a, I wouldn't say a natural position, because we all know what natural and not. But if it's still and it hits it, it gives you a question. But obviously, if its hand is moving towards the ball, it's a penalty.
Yeah, the Lallana one on Gravenberch for me a red.
I thought he was lucky, because lucky to only get booked. I did think it was a red card. I thought he was endangering the safety of opponent. I didn't think he was in control of the tackle.
High on the ankle.
Yeah, he was very high on the ankle. Suds were shown as well, and he's come from a distance as well. So he knew what he was doing, that sort of way. And people will argue, Lallana's not that type of player. He don't have to be. He knew what he was doing, and he could have caused a major injury there,
Yeah, absolutely. So for you would have went red.
Oh yeah, straight red, 100%.
Yeah. Next up, the Belieber one. I've been fascinated by this player. I think he's brilliant for Brighton. He's been brilliant all season. Absolutely electric. Came on last week and changed the game against City.
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal. Was he harsh done by on this one?
I thought it was a strange one because obviously he was running towards the Bournemouth player, and it was like he tried to jump over him, and I didn't see much contact. And obviously you can see a little bit of contact. I think the Bournemouth player, because I've had this argument before with lads, because the boots nowadays, there's hardly any material in the boots. You feel it much more than you would back in the day when it was proper leather. I think he was, to get a second caution for that. It's like he's just trying to jump over him, and the bottom of his foot, his stud has just kind of caught the defender's leg. So I thought he was. I did actually think he was kind of harshly done by, He
was kind of moving so fast as well, and his focus was on the ball.
Oh yeah,
100%, he wasn't even looking at the player.
It was like he was just trying to ride over the player, jump over him, go for the ball, because it was kind of going towards the touchline, and he makes contact, and unfortunately the referee has seen it as a second caution, and of course it can't go to VAR because it's not a straight red card.
Yeah, it was definitely for one that he's saying that attack. That's a bit rough now. You could.
Yeah, no, I did. I thought it was very harsh on the player. Well, listen.
The
only thing is that hopefully Brighton can appeal it, and maybe I know probably only one match ban because it's the 2 yellows. So, but I'd say they will appeal it.
Why is the rule there that it doesn't go to VAR in that instant?
Yeah, it's one that's been talked about. It's one that's been talked about a lot. Unfortunately, the cautions are yellow card offences, are mainly judged by the referee and only the referee, and nothing has changed. Even though it leads to obviously 2 cautions, leads to the red card. There's been talk about introducing VAR for a second booking, but whether or not that's going to happen is another thing. I'd be all for it, because obviously in that incident, it's get Brighton a lot of work to do, and I thought they done very well, been down to 10 men, particularly with Bournemouth putting a lot of pressure on them. It is something that could change it if he goes over on the screen and thinks, right, I haven't, it changes the game. Lucky enough, they still went on and won, but it could have been a different game if Bournemouth had scored early, and made a right go of it. But it's just unfortunate that they don't look at it, and it's, like I said, it's something that they're looking at now to introduce as well. So you might see it in one of the tournaments, maybe the underage tournaments over the summer, where they do have that.
Trial it out. Trial it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it seems to be a big decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, certainly 100%. You should have the opportunity to do that. The last one then that I picked out was obviously Norgard as well. Went in, ball across the box, went flying in to connect with the ball. At that speed and that pace, like milliseconds, and you're miles off. And caught Pickford in the knee. Of which I would.
Can I reverse the question?
Go on.
Given what happened to Van Dijk and Pickford the same, what would you have given there?
Well, if it was me, I'd give a penalty to Norgard. But that's just me. That's just me.
I just thought of that straight, like when I seen it. It's one of those. The players sliding in to get the ball and try create a goal scoring opportunity, and obviously if you're a manager, you're not going to be telling them to pull out that situation, and I think anyone who's ever played football will tell you that you're going in. For me, when the ball is in between the player, it's a 50-50 challenge, and obviously his leg is high and it catches Pickford. I don't think many players on the pitch, because a lot of them turned away as if it went out for a goal kick. I don't think a lot of them kind of, until when they seen Pickford rolling around and thought it was something serious, and
then pointing at the knee for about 10 minutes.
Exactly. I didn't think there was much in it in general. And then obviously when you seen the referee getting called out to the screen, you had an idea that he was going to be sent off, and you seen his reaction as well. I don't think he thought he was going to be sent off, and when it happened, you could just see him, but
I think Norgard going in, he had lost control. He was in
that, he wasn't in control. It was high. I can see why it was given all right,
Any others stick out for you at the weekend?
I think for one of them, for me, was Ndidi. He was lucky to stay on the pitch a few times against. I think it's like he had a mission to go out and hurt Cole Palmer there on Saturday.
One down the back of the ankle now was nasty.
That's the one I was thinking of myself that I thought could have been a straight red card. I thought he was very lucky there, because again, he knew what he was doing. There was intent.
He wasn't looking at the ball.
He's endangering the safety in the opponent. Cole Palmer could have got an awful nasty injury from that, So for me, I think the referee made a wrong choice. I thought he should have been a red carded, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely. That was one that stuck out. I didn't have it on it, but I'm thinking about it now. Yeah, absolutely. What about your boy picking rows in the car park? Kane.
He's so man, isn't he? He should be asking Dazzler this on Thursday. He's a big fan of him. I love Roy.
I made the point last night to the lads. I was saying, well, Mika Richards isn't around at the moment. You want to be careful, because the last time this kicked off, Mika had to step in.
I tell you, Jamie Redknapp won't be doing anything. You'd have more chance of Kelly Coates getting stuck in than Jamie Redknapp.
Did you see Jim Redknapp going over, and he's like this? Here he is trying to palm away and stuff like that. Kane as well. Kane's not that big a dude, like.
No. It's just obviously he's a fierce character, and obviously one that we all know is. And
the boys were obviously old enough to remember his time there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd imagine that created a bit of.
And listen, if you're Roy, you're probably expecting a bit of banter with the crowd, given what happened there, like you said, as manager, and he's so close to the crowd. But I said, I was showing Ivana here earlier on, and this morning, and I said, like, fair play to him for for going over. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
conversation with my dad as well. My dad was just laughing about it, and because one of the lads, I think behind him in the hat, sold the story to a newspaper. And, I met him outside and this, that, and the other. Like, but
yeah,
I won't want to be on his wrong side anyway. Do you ever see some of the videos of fans trying to get pictures with him and everything? Like, and
yeah,
he's just no interest at all. Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh, he's
or
the
do you get
CM Punk, isn't he? He's the CM Punk of
yeah,
football. Like,
yeah. Do you remember
yeah,
it was outside Old Trafford and he's signing jerseys and your man's coming over to him
yeah,
and he's just having a bit of back and forth with him, I love Roy. I
yeah,
think he's a great character to have in the
yeah,
game, and
absolutely.
I love
Yeah,
watching the overlap and stuff like that,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That was funny the other day with your one Jill Scott, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
About
yeah.
Marlon
Harwood.
Harewood.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
was so good. Like,
Spashless. He's a big
yeah,
man.
and Roydie copped it straight away, and Roydie was buckled over him. And
Scholesy and Nev
yeah,
were the same. Like,
yeah, and
brilliant.
Scald is so like Scald is Scald. I think Scald really led him into it nearly,
Yeah,
that kind of way. But yeah,
unbelievable.
no, it's good, all right. It's good fun and stuff like that. Ed Sheeran coming out and apologising
I
today to
seen that.
whoever
Yeah,
remember him.
I didn't see much wrong with him going over and saying hello to the lads. Obviously, he didn't know they were doing the interview at the time, but I didn't
Yeah,
see anything wrong with it. Listen, his team that he loves had just taken a point off Manchester
mm,
United. It doesn't,
yeah,
whatever form we're in anyway. We're Manchester United, and they after getting a massive point there and a well earned
mm,
point as well, by the way, because I thought they played very, very well. So,
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
no problem with him coming over.
I'm more in than out of this stream, lads. Big up, Dave. Good to see you, pal.
Oh yeah, Dave.
Dave, I reckon he's going to. I reckon we're going to see him signing by the weekend. That's my prediction is that him and Virgil will have signed by the weekend, and I
For
think
who
Trent.
though?
Oh, for us, and I think Trent is.
Only
I think
best.
Trent. I think Trent is just. I think he's leaving, and that's it. So, but I think the two boys will have re-signed by the weekend, going into the city game. FSG are flying into town this week. So they're coming over just for the sake of the games, I would imagine, but should be interesting. Yeah, praying, Dave. We are praying, absolutely. What else did I want to ask you about? There's one other thing, was there? No, maybe it's gone.
Can I just actually, before I was talking to Browner the other day, he wanted me to mention that they've announced another player for the Leeds Legends game for next year, and it's Ross McCormack that played for Leeds up front. He's only recently retired, I think, or something like that. So, he's going to be a big player, and there's going to be a meet and greet now in February with one or two of the lads. I was chatting to Browner there the other day, so
cool.
there's a few of them. We shall be getting involved in that, and over the next few weeks we'll get Browner on to chat about
We'll
the
get him on
game.
to give us an update of everything that's coming up next
Exactly,
year.
yeah.
Like
So so Ross McCormack's
yeah.
going to come over and play in that game.
I seen the poster for the Leeds game. I think it was.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
with the
really
QR
good.
code. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it looks really good actually.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
really
mad.
good.
Like, he was telling me the interest and stuff, and I didn't realize there's so many Leeds supporters club around Ireland and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
massive,
crazy. Like,
massive. Yeah,
Browner
massive.
says his phone does be off the
Yeah.
chart. So, yeah, it's Saturday 10th of May in the Carlisle getting around in Bray 3, I think it is. Meet and greet in the Sallynoggin Inn, and then dinner and in the Stalogan Park Hotel, as you well know, because we had a chat about that before.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, we're saying to Brown, we'll get down there on the day, because we'll get you involved in the Legends game and stuff like that. So it's gonna be excellent.
You're after reminding me what I wanted to ask you about. Bray ripping up the pitch and going Astro.
Yes, yeah, seen that. All right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all.
It's a great pitch. What's the problem?
Listen, and we spoke about this before, because given the League of Ireland season as well, it's summer football. They shouldn't have to do that, because if we were playing, like, say, with the Premier League alongside the Premier League and stuff like that, you probably say, right, fair enough, because you look at from now till the end of February and stuff like that, pitches are called off like no one's business. So
Bray's normally all right though, isn't it? Because Bray, I think, is sand based as well, being so
it is. Yeah, no,
it's
sand based, and you see how good it is. They have the cars used to park on, the back of the pitch where the wall is behind the wall there and stuff like that. They have the car park, but it's always been a lovely picture. A lot of the schools finals back in the day for Benildes and all the finals were out
That's
in
right.
Bray and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know yourself. So, but yeah, no, it's just getting to the stage. You look, they had a stat up about all the teams in the League of Ireland, in the Premier and the First Division that have the Astro, and it's more Astro than grass at the minute. From looking at it, you know, the likes of Kerry and Dundalk and Derry
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just a shame.
Yeah.
Like,
You can tell from our coverage of the League of Ireland this season that we hate the Astro. That's
yeah,
for sure.
not a fan of it
Absolutely.
at all, you know.
Yeah,
And
no,
looking
not at
forward
all.
to obviously February now. The President Cup game is announced in Talca Park, Shelburne against Rotler, so that'd be a massive game. I was texting our friend Aaron last week or 2 weeks ago.
What a fortnight from. What a
What?
week.
Yeah, unbelievable. I text him on the Friday night the Saturday night to wish him good luck, and then they won. So I text him on the Monday to say congratulations, and he yeah, only feels and horses rudders. I texted him on the Monday and they were still celebrating, so I was like, fair play. It was well earned, and obviously to get the win against Bray in Salah Stadium the following week, you know, massive few weeks. So yeah, the President's Cup be I think is it the 10th of February or the 8th of February or something. Big Phil, if you're in the chat, you might let me know. But yeah, Talca Park, Drogheda Shells, President's Cup should be good.
Interesting. Should be interesting, that's for sure. Well, another good one. Thanks for making it.
Sorry, it was late, cause Jesus, I've had a right few weeks, man.
Who are we picking to win the Champions League?
Out now?
If you had to pick one.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Depending if he stays fit, I'll go Real Madrid. I'm only doing that for Romy.
Interesting. I don't know.
Listen, it depends. The draw for the knockout stages, it's all, do you know what I mean? Because it's so open, it all depends on that, really, doesn't it? Look at the draw.
All about the draw. He's going with Inter. Ryan's going with Inter.
Good man, Ryan.
Not a bad shout either.
Ryan, can I just say, why didn't Wolves wear the yellow kit against Fulham the other day? That purple kit looks mad. Obviously, there wouldn't have been a clash in kits. I was just wondering. I know you were away and all, but obviously. But did you see the purple kit they were wearing?
Yes. Yeah, did you? Harchester,
yeah. Like a luminous purple, like.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you have a second kit, you have to wear it at some stage, don't you? Because if you look at the Wolves kit, it's rarely going to clash with any of the kits.
No, but listen, it's in their contracts from the suppliers. They have to wear the away and the third kit a certain amount of times a season, so they have to do it. Like, you know.
I don't know, mate, but I love the kit now. You have to get the win.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Did you see what the Wolves admin on TikTok wrote? Fulham official account were slagging Wolves, and he wrote, I'm not one for writing back and stuff, you know, 1-4, because it was just brilliant the way he done it, like, you know, and he said a few other things as well. So
I love when clubs get into that banter. I love when official accounts get into that banter. It's good.
It's great.
They should do more of it. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Aston Villa are my dark horse for the Champions League, Philip.
Be a good show, Phil. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think
stretch, isn't it?
I just think with them and their squad, the priority, you know, it gets to a certain point in the season where you have to prioritize, you know, and I don't think they'll have the stability to compete on both fronts in the Premier League and the Champions League.
They were saying they're the worst fans in the whole of the division.
Yeah, they said out of the 92 teams that Wolves have the worst fans and all, but the Wolves admin had a really good response. I thought it was very funny when I read it, like, you know.
Yeah. Romy's going for Celtic to hit the knockouts. I think so. I think.
Yeah. It is. It's a competition that will suit them, and particularly, like, you know, I do like the Scottish League and all, but it's not as competitive as, say, some of the other leagues that the other teams around them are playing in. You know. Yeah,
Barca's a good show. I think Bayern Munich could be a good show this season, actually. Bayern Munich
they had another good win the weekend, didn't they? I seen one of your mates was at the game.
Ew.
Seamus.
Oh, was he? He was at the Bayern Munich game?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonder what that was about.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
We're promoting something in Germany or something. I seen. Did you see Muller slagging off Harry Kane's goal celebration?
No.
Yeah, he was slagging it off, and it was kind of like, I think it was kind of like Harry Kane didn't take to it first, and then he kind of took to it, and then the two boys were
Oh,
kind of laughing
yeah.
about it. But it was an interesting moment. It was an interesting moment. Interesting
Kane's an
moment.
oddball sometimes, and he takes himself a bit too serious, I think.
Well, it must be difficult for him finding himself in Bayern Munich. You know,
Yeah.
that's talking about getting out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? That's well out of it.
Well, he
Monaco,
had to,
maybe.
didn't he? Like, what age is he now? 30, 31, is he?
I think he's 30. I think no, is he 29? I think I'm not too sure. Kane hat trick again, yeah. Yeah, Muller slagging his
Yeah.
celebration was hilarious. He was doing all the kind of and all this, so it was funny. But yeah, so that's it, folks. Until next time, I think I'm back tomorrow night with Pro Wrestling Weekly because obviously Wednesday we have the Real Madrid game. So you should get a preview for the Real Madrid game at some stage tomorrow. Ryan reckons 31. You could be right. And Philip, yeah, Seamus's wife follows Bayern Munich.
Interesting.
There we go. It's a long way to go from Florida, though, isn't it?
Is that where he's living? Is it Florida? Yeah.
Yeah, they all live down there now. Yeah, they all live around that Tampa area and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be back tomorrow night with Pro Wrestling Weekly. You should get a preview for the Real game as well. And then Thursday, Tier Talk's a little bit up in the air at the moment because the Dazzler's 40 on Thursday. And on Friday, he's heading off to New York till Tuesday to celebrate with the lovely Rosanna. So I'm not too sure way Thursday's going to go. So we'll see what happens. We will bring you some sort of a preview.
You could just do a show of all Dazzler's one-liners. Just play all his funny bits for the hour or whatever. Or you could have a 40-minute show of just Dazzler to celebrate his 40 years.
I did my best yesterday to trigger him during the Ipswich game.
Did you?
Yeah, he gets very offended at times when he's in the height of it at times watching Man United, he's very sensitive about Man United. But it was fun. He didn't take it, then he was
not that you'd like doing that or anything, but I suppose you have to do it sometimes.
And then he was trying to get me this morning. Then we were talking this morning. He goes, I don't want to offend you here now. What did he say? He says, I don't want to offend you here now. Don't take this the wrong way. But you know the way we speak about Haaland and that if he's not scoring goals or assisting, he doesn't offer you anything else really. And he goes, Mo Salah's kind of like that as well, isn't he? And I fucking laugh. Go away.
I like you said, most goal involvements out of any Liverpool player this season.
Yeah, Pat McAfee clips. Yeah, absolutely. Pat McAfee, yeah. Right, until next time, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, share all the content as well if you can, and most importantly, a like on the video there. Liking the video there. I'm taking numbers in that chat, and I'm comparing that to the likes, and it isn't comprehending. So I need that to comprehend. Until next time, folks, talk to you again real soon. Cuz a pleasure as always.
Cheers. Sorry for being late, guys. Sorry for being late.
Guys. Great show and take care. And you, everyone in the chat, take care. Enjoy the football. Football all the way to New Year's Day now.
Yes.
It's going to be absolute quality. And here is the place to come to for your coverage. Talk to you next time.
Cheers, guys.